In Sunday's message, we talked about how God provides people to lift up our hands when they're getting heavy, and God also wants us to hold other people's hands steady when their load is too much for them. Today I wanted to talk about what is the number one thing that keeps us from receiving help and what keeps us from giving help. Just to reiterate it, it's pride. Pride is what keeps us from receiving help and from giving help. Proverbs 16:18 says this in the Message translation: first pride, then the crash. The bigger the ego, the bigger the fall. The NIV translation says this: pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. The definition of pride is a high or inordinate opinion of one's own dignity, importance, merit, or superiority, whether as cherished in the mind or as displayed in bearing or conduct. What does that all boil down to? Pride thinks that I am better than you. Pride thinks that you are worse than me. That's how selfish pride works. Pride is the number one thing that keeps us from receiving help from God or from other people or from giving help. And we know that as we read through the Bible, the whole thread of it is serve God, serve others. That there is no room in God's family to not serve one another. And what keeps us from reaching out for help, what pride does is it keeps us in this self-reliance mode. Like only I can meet my needs, which that's always going to exclude what Jesus wants to do in your life. It's always going to exclude if somebody else is speaking truth to you in your life. We love to be the people that we think I can handle this on my own, because we have this this high ideal of the rugged individual, right? Like we're gonna carve our own path. We're gonna forge our own future, and we do this even when we don't accept simple help from people. We use the phrase "I'm good." I have a million things going on, but I'm good. And it's also pride that keeps us from helping other people, because we think, well, I'm going to be taking care of myself, so you ought to be able to take care of yourself. Like, I don't have time to help you. I've got all these things going on. My plate is full. I'm trying to help my kids with their online learning and their allergies and their whatever extracurricular activities. And then now I'm working from home, and I get it. A lot of, I've said this before, so much of our way of life has changed recently. So maybe your season right now is not to spread yourself out. But are you asking for help? That's what I want to ask you today. Are you asking God for help? Are you asking Him to send other people to help? Because you and I, we were not made to do this life alone. And that's one of the things I love about a church family, is that we're able to come together and help each other. There are things that people in this church are so much better at than me, and I thank God for them, that they are able to use their gifts and talents towards those things. And I hope that the way God wired me is helping you too. What we don't realize is that what would help us is to help other people. There is nothing like getting your eyes off your own issues to help someone else with theirs. There's something very healthy about that. Now, I say that because I just know that that's what has been helpful to me. It doesn't mean you never take care of your own things. No, you should. It doesn't mean you don't ever ask help for your issues and struggles. You should. But one of the best things I've ever experienced in my life is helping other people with what's going on, big or small. Because, and the reason why it helps us so much is that we are wired for this. This is how Jesus designed us, to be interdependent. All of us dependent on God and interdependent on one another. Like we count on each other to help each other. So what is the antithesis of pride, and what does it look like to not be prideful? Philippians 2:3-4 says this: don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. Don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too. Paul would go on to say, you must have the same attitude that Christ had, that though he is equal with God, he didn't cling to that right. Even though he could have said, I'm better than you, I'm worth more than you, because only Jesus is, even though he could have done that, he didn't. And Paul goes on to say he lowered himself to take on the form of a slave, of a servant. And if you're a Christian, you are the beneficiary of Christ's humbling of himself. He humbled himself even in the point of obedience, even to death on a cross. And he did that for you. And he did that for me. And that is what makes it possible for our pride to die. For us to come to the point of realization of I cannot help myself. I cannot live solely for myself, but I can live for God because of what Jesus did for me. And because of what Jesus did for me, then I can lay down my life for someone else. I can help someone else. Maybe laying down your life isn't, taking a bullet for somebody. Maybe it's taking them dinner when they're going through a hard time. Maybe it's listening when they don't need someone's solution. They just need someone to hear them. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm praying that you'll have an answer to one of these two questions as a result of tonight's passages from the Bible. And this is one. Where am I not asking God for help? What do I think I can handle on my own that I really need to ask God to send me some help in the form of somebody else maybe? And then two, maybe you're in a good spot right there, but you need to be helping someone else. So that second question is, who else is near me, around me, that I need to be helping? Who is the Holy Spirit tapping me on the shoulder and saying, hey, you need to go talk to them. Hey, you need to listen to them. Hey, you need to offer to help them. That's what God is dealing with me on, and I am encouraging you and challenging you to do the same. What do I need God to help me with that I'm not asking for right now? Or who can I be helping? And so do those in order, and you'll get it right. And God will help us. And I'm looking forward to how God is going to help you steady your hands through the people that he sends. And I'm excited to hear stories about how you are helping other people when they are struggling with the struggles in life that they have. So I love you. I cannot wait to see you soon. Prime timers, we got lunch. Bring your own brown bag lunch tomorrow, 12 o'clock, right here at church. We'll spread out. It'll be a good time. But in the meantime, you matter to God, and you matter to me. See ya.